And we'll be right back. So this is the NFL Bet Exchange Week 1, and I'm your host, Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, with the other host, my man, the Don of Cape Cod, Mr. Jeff Dawson, and we'll be right back.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we're back with the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and the Don of Cape Cod, Jeff Dawson. Let's go ahead and jump into our next game, and that's going to be this one right here. That's going to be the Bucs and the Vikings. The Bucs and the Vikings. This one is a peculiar game because you got Baker Mayfield playing for his third team in 18 months. Whole new world. The Vikings coming in here were one of the better teams in the NFL last year, regardless of how people want to feel about that. They were very good at winning 1 point game, one possession games last year. They turned the corner in that right, and in this game, that they're going to be they're a big favorite because nobody trusts the Bucs because everybody has it out for Baker Mayfield. Let's just keep it real. Everybody has it out for Baker. And that's dumb, in my opinion, because they're not going to let you be a starter on 3 different teams in the last 18 months if you're no good. They just don't let anybody start in the NFL. We know that, Jeff. And so pretty much what he's became is a rolling starter. He's in the book of Bubby Bristers, the Steve DeBergs of the world, meaning you're a serviceable quarterback. It's just that the situations that you keep running into, they're not good situations. And so pretty much he might be able to get some stability here with the Bucs. But we're going to see here game 1. The Vikings, to me, present one of the more underrated teams in the league. They got a quarterback that's seen as one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Justin Jefferson is seen not just as the top wide receiver, but one of the best players in the league overall, top 5 players, period. So they have a lot working for them. They upgraded the running back position. Yes, I say it again, upgraded the running back position because they went from a guy who's probably at the twilight of his career to a guy that's entering the prime of his career. These guys know what they're doing. And they already have a team that's really trying to be more disciplined this year. They're trying to get all the rotten eggs out the room. And they've done a good job of it. So I truly do feel that they are going to be a team that you're going to have to reckon with all season. But as usual, Minnesota is going to do what Minnesota does. They're going to overlook the Bucs and they're going to play down to them. And what's going to happen is the Bucs are going to wind up covering this game. So I'm going to take them with the +6 in this spot because everybody's taking the Vikings, Jeff. We know this. When they hand you a -6, what they're pretty much telling you is, oh, this is a no-brainer. It's a no doubt about it. Mess around, the Vikings could lose the game. Whenever you see a -6, that's one of the ones that you might want to run from because they're telling you, okay, all you need to do is beat them by a touchdown. It's not that easy. So I'm taking the +6 with the Bucs.
I have to 100% agree with you here. The buck stops here. Am I a fan? No. Do I think this team's going to be good this year? No. But it's opening day. Anything can happen in opening day. The thousands upon thousands of people flocking to the circa for the Survivor just pick one winner. They just got to win, not tie. They have to win. My true number was a 6.5 for the 45. I'm seeing 6 for the 45.5. Again, Baker Mayfield win the turnover battle. You can't come into Minnesota and have 3 or 4 turnovers. Minnesota 2 years ago led the NFL in losses in one possession games. Last year they led the NFL in wins in one possession game. I think it's going to be a tight game. I bought the hook here to 6.5. If I think the key number for Tampa here is to get over 20. Can they get to 21, 23? I think they'll be fine. Bucs defense not that good either. Don't forget no Dalvin Cook. The Matson will be the lead back there. I think Jefferson has a good day. Jordan Addison has a good day. Hawkinson has a good day. But I think the Bucs +6, +6.5 is the right side. So I'm going to follow your lead, and the Bucs stops here, Bobs.
All right. I didn't even see Hawkinson in the top tight ends yesterday. That was weird. I drafted yesterday for my for my group. And you're going to laugh at me too, Jeff. I got to about the 12th, 13th round, and this was in the afternoon. But sometimes these drafts can get a little boring, and you might doze off or forget that, you're still drafting. And I think I dozed off for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And I looked up, and I had all these players that I did not want to pick. And I wound up having 4 quarterbacks, Jeff. Because they give you the top players. And you know who they left over? They left Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson. They left those guys over. You know what I mean? And I'm like, how is nobody picking them up? Especially Daniel Jones with the fantasy year that he had. And I said, damn, I missed out on those sneaky running backs and wide receivers. But I think I'm pretty satisfied with my group. I think I drafted enough. Them was only the last 4 roster spots, and that's always interchangeable anyway. I know that, but I just wanted to throw that in there. But yes, I took Saquon first overall, and yes, I was stupid enough to take Saquon over Tyreek Hill. Yes, Tyreek Hill was there available at the 6th spot, but I told myself, I said, I got to go with the guy that's a little bit more important to his offense. I know Tyreek's very important to his offense, but he does share the spotlight a little bit with Waddle. You know what I mean? And, with the way that he was acting in the offseason, things like that, it could be a regression for Tyreek Hill this year. And I felt like Barkley was the more motivated. That's just what it was. That's why I took Barkley number 1 overall. And I'll go ahead.
I just got an update, and this is news to me. Injury report. The Travis Kelce was downgraded to questionable with a knee. Oh. So I don't know if they're just playing games here. I didn't know anything was wrong. Just keep an eye out on that. Travis Kelce downgraded to questionable.
Kelsey?
Yeah.
Because you see the Kelce, I'm like, okay, that might be the other Travis that plays over at for the Kansas City Arena team. We need Kelsey. All right, so Titans at Saints, Jeff, -3 over under 41. You know what? This is one of the sneaky good games on Sunday's schedule as well, too, in my opinion. You know what I mean? A lot of people probably will look at this one and it's an automatic Saints win for them, but that's not how it works. This is going to be a very close game. This is going to be a very, chess type matchup, in my opinion. You got 2 really good defensive minds in Dennis Allen and Mike Vrabel, so they're going to try to make sure that that they keep this game low scoring and very physical. And to me, the team that makes the least amount of mistakes wins this game. And I think what happens here is that the team that's going to make the least amount of mistakes, and usually they don't, is going to be the Saints. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and take the Saints. But I'm going to do what you do, Jeff. I'm going to buy down and take the 2.5 because I feel like instead of me spending 160 on the money line, just spend a little bit extra on the spread and take the 2.5 with the Saints. to go ahead and just win the game by a field goal or better. So that's where I'm going with mines right there. And I think the Saints honestly are pretty much a team that are they're going to be much better than they were last year. But this game was tough to choose. I'm not going to even cap there. And I do like the Saints with the -2.5 to just go ahead and win the game by 3 points or better.
I did the opposite. I looked at the opening number. It was a 3.5 with a 42. It's down to a flat three at circle with a 41. Again, no rhyme or reason. People remember what they saw last. The Titans, the Saints had a real good preseason. Carr, Olave, Kamara will be out for the first three games. They'll use Jamal Williams and a few others there. Will Michael Thomas reemerge? I took, just again on a contrarian, I bought the hook. I took the Titans plus 3.5. So in a good, best world for both of us is the Saints win by 3. How's that?
All right. Saints win by 3. And that would be perfect for you and me. And you guys see Jeff has the 3.5 with the hook. And Jeff knows that he wants the Titans to really win the game. But, pretty much, that's where we meet at the middle. That's where I feel good about myself too. But Jeff knows that he would love to see the Titans walk into New Orleans and go get themselves a nice win over the Saints. Now, this may be the game of the week, and nobody's even saying that, Jeff. That's the 49ers and the Steelers. I'm going to let you kick this one off.
There's some injury questions here for the 49ers. It sounds like Bosa and Kittle will both not be playing. I had a number here, a true number of 3 with a 41.5. I am huge on the Steelers this year. It's a primetime game at 4:30, I think, 4:25. No, it's 1 o'clock. I apologize. I hope it's not a public trendy dog. I like Pickett showing some signs of Big Ben. Wide receivers, Deontay Johnson, Pickett to Pickens. The emergence of Jalen Warren with Najee Harris. But again, defensively, they go as far as Watt goes. The Terrible Towers will be out here. I took them on the money line. Why not? Let's see if they can get out to a 1-0 start. Again, how effective will Brock Purdy be? 49ers, don't forget, laid an egg opening week. I think last week, 8 or 9 point favorites in Chicago in the monsoon. They fumbled the game away in the second half. We'll know early, but I'm going to take a swing here with the steel curtain and pulling off a mild upset, and I'm going to take the money line plus 120 bucks.
All right, there you go. The 120 from Jeff with the Steelers. And you know what? I don't even need to talk about it too much because Jeff just gave you guys all the grease that you needed for this to know what's going to go on in this game. I'm just going to keep it real with you. It's Pittsburgh. It's opening day. And it's Pittsburgh and it's opening day. And Pittsburgh wins this game, and it's not going to be close either. Pittsburgh wins this game by a lot, to be honest with you. I think that they're going to absolutely trash the Niners in this spot. I'm taking them with the plus 120 Steelers money line. Let's get it. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm not trying to hate on the 49ers. It's just that it's Pittsburgh, opening day. Then we need to learn our lessons. Everybody had this idea Buffalo was going to just work them last year. Buffalo got embarrassed. And San Francisco don't even have the same quarterback Buffalo got. So I'm thinking to myself that Purdy hasn't really done anything, 11 on 11 wise in a while. And so it's going to get ugly. You know what I mean? Because we both know that if you're going to play against you got to start and play your first game against a defense that's just as physical as the last defense that put you out for the game. And how are you going to adjust to that? Because now the pressure's on. Ain't no more you hold down the spot till the quarterback comes. No, you're the man now. And I don't know if Purdy can play with you're the man expectations. I'm sorry. It just, because if you could, they wouldn't have drafted you in the 7th round. Think about that. So, Cards, Commanders, Jeff. We can be quick with this one, okay? I promise. We can be quick because I'm starting to see what you call it. I'm sorry to see a lot. You getting that? I got a lot of people hitting me up right now. So
No,
let me,
no, we're good. We're good.
yeah, let me go ahead. But this one is a worthless game too, Jeff. You know that. Nobody at the end of the day, the long term situation, the Commanders and Cards do not play a factor into the NFL super just of things. Let's keep it real there. You know what I mean? But the only thing that could really make things a little spicy is if you say the Commanders are probably going this game and figure out a way to really mess this thing up. You know what I mean? Because they have a guy, Sam Howell, who's good, but we don't know how good. Their offense, we don't really know what to expect with their offense. The Cardinals, we already know what to expect. They're probably going to run three quarterbacks out there. They're gonna have some playmakers. They're gonna have some mess up guys, some guys to mess up the game. You know what I mean? And so pretty much what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and take the Cardinals, like I already knew. I'm gonna take them with the plus 7.5. I don't care. I just think that they're gonna make this more of a game than everybody wants them to because the Commanders aren't a team that you give a 7.5 point spread to. I'm sorry, you just don't. You know what I mean? Now, if they would have came in here and gave them the 3.5 like they did when they opened up the line, I would respect that. But now when you got them at 7, I'm cool. I'm gonna go ahead and take the team with the. I'm gonna go ahead and add a hook, and I'm gonna take the 7.5 with the Cardinals. Jeff,
Well,
where you going?
if I told you the true number was 5.5 with a 40, it's now up to 7 with a 38. There is a 38.5 at South Point. Again, there's a train wreck coming to this weekend. Is it going to be the Rams beating Seattle? Is it going to be the Texans beating the Ravens? Is it going to be the Cardinals beating Washington? There's going to be a train wreck somewhere, and there's a lot of people that are going to go down in the Survivor contest. This one, I bought the hook. I got the Commanders -7. Do I like it? Hell no, I don't. A low scoring affair. I could see, the whole world being on Washington, and the Cards have that one game that that just all the chips fell in the right spot. I'll take the swing with the Commanders -7. The return of the Hogs, Jahan Dotson with 2 or 3 touchdowns, Sam Howell the star, and the defense picks it up and has a good day. But this is game I won't watch one iota of this game.
And there it is. Jeff's taking the Commanders with the 7, and I'm taking the Cards with the plus 7.5, and we move from there. But actually, do we move from there? We will take a break from there. So you guys stay tuned. We will be right back to you. This is the Premier Sports Bet. This is the NFL Bet Exchange with your boy Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and the Don of Cape Cod, your boy, your guy, your man's Mr. Jeff Dawson. So we'll be right back to you. You guys stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and get to our final early game. And this one is a game that really a lot of people probably are going to say to themselves, oh, here goes my gimme. Here goes my game of the week. Here goes my end all be all. But come on, dude, you got to give up minus 800 on a money line to make $100. You know what I mean? Like you got to pay 800 to make 100, and you got to sit up in here and hope that they win by 2 touchdowns. It's just too much that's going into the Ravens being great in this game. And hey, I don't really trust the Texans much either, Jeff. I don't think that they're going to be that great of a team this year. I think that they're going to catch a lot of double-digit beatdowns and things like that. But the time to get them on those double-digit beatdowns is at this point of the year. But I truly feel in Ravens decor, whenever you put the Ravens against a team that they're absolutely supposed to crush, they always seem to be play pity pat with those teams. They always do. You know what I mean? And so pretty much like I know that they're going to come in with a lot of hype, and they're going to come in with the idea that they should be able to do this, that, and the third because they have OBJ, they have Zay Flowers, they have J.K. Dobbins, they have they finally got how they feel is an offense this year. But still, I think what happens here is that D'Amico Ryans is going to get a little bit more out of this group opening day. And you know what? If you could trust any team on opening day to help you out, bail you out, cover a game, possibly win a game as an upset, it's the Houston Texans. Okay. And I think that the Texans will be good to us, Jeff. I'm taking them with the plus 10. I think that's an absolute it's the biggest spread on the board. You got to take the team with the biggest spread on the board, and that's going to be the Texans. So I'll go ahead and take the plus 10. I'll risk it out. And you know what? The Ravens beat them by 21 or better. Good for them. But I'd rather be up 10 points in a game than being down 10 points in a game.
No, I agree. Again, I can't remember the last time the Ravens covered a big number like this. The true number was 9.5. Everyone knew that it would get pushed to 10. The under over is, let me see here, it was 45. It's now 43.5. So they got the 10 right. Now everyone's got this as a let me see if my numbers are correct here. 27-13 game or something like that. Again, do I expect the Ravens to win? Of course I do, but I'll be contrarian. I'll follow your lead. I bought the hook. I'm taking the Texans plus 10.5 and praying, Pops.
And so Jeff is taking the Texans plus 10.5, and he's adding the hook. And, we'll sit there and say 4 Hail Marys before the game, and then we'll go from there.
That's correct. Tucker from, 60 right before the half, right?
Right. Exactly. All right. So let's go ahead. We're moving. We're moving, Jeff. We're moving. We're in the late games now. The late games. Sunday late games, man, this is where you lose your shirt or you save your day when you're better, because usually when it's opening day, you've lost your shirt by noon. You truly have. Like literally opening day is always one of the biggest headaches for everybody betting. It truly is, because everybody has that idea that game that they circled back in April was a no doubt about it, and then that team absolutely looks awful. They ain't got nothing good going for themselves this week. It's a week by week season, man. That's why I always tell people it's this week. You can't worry about what's going on next week, the week after that. It's this week. And I'll keep it real with you. Being 1-0 does not guarantee the playoffs. Being 1-0 does not guarantee a division championship. Being 1-0 doesn't even guarantee that you have a winning record. It's just that you won the first game of the season. That's all it is. So that's just something I want to throw out there for people so they don't get themselves too in a bunch if their team doesn't show up, week one. Jeff?
No, I get you. And I'm not liking where this is going. My true number was 3 with a 44. Now everyone's buying the Jordan Love hype. They're fading the Bears. They're fading Justin Fields. It's the home opener. Again, I liked it at 3 or 3.5. Now it's down to 1. I did follow. I took the Packers in the money line just because. Just because this could be a game where, again, both quarterbacks struggle or both quarterbacks thrive. Um, it looks like could be a public trendy dog here. We'll see what happens. The under over currently right now, Pops, is 43. First one to 23 wins this game. How about 23-20 Packers late field goal to win the game?
All right. Okay, and the way I'm looking at this one right here, I feel like the Bears are going to be so big of a overhype and oversell here because everybody expects the Bears to have this big season, this great season. And I just don't think that the Bears are really there yet. And I feel like the Packers have a lot to surprise everybody with this year as well, too. I like Jordan Love, man. I think he's a gamer. He's a great player. He was a 3-year starter at Utah State. They were a successful team while he was at Utah State as well, too. That's one part that they don't really want to talk about. You know what I mean? He was better than Anthony Richardson in school, you know what I mean, when it came to winning, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that when you really look at the gist of things, you say to yourself, the Packers should do Packer things because they are the Bears' daddy, and that's going to continue. I like the Packers plus 100, just like Jeff. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But that's where I'm going with that one as well, too. Packers plus 100. Let's move forward. Let's jump into our next game. Our next game is going to be this. It's going to be the Eagles and the Pats. The Eagles and the Pats. And you know what? This one is going to be a big hyped up game as well, too. I know a lot of people are probably going to look at this one, and everybody's probably going to go the same way that I'm going here and the same way that Jeff is going here. But, you know, you're just not going to be stupid. That's all it is. Just don't be dumb. You know, the Eagles were great. They are a great team. You know what I mean? And, you know, I pissed off some people when I said that they were, you know, everything's a little robotic with them, even though they're really good. But no, this is a hell of a team. Every team in the league would love to have who they have in the trenches on both sides of the ball. You know, everybody wants to have their front seven and their offensive line. I'm telling you, nobody would want to not have that group. And so pretty much that sets them apart from everybody. But somebody that knows how to really dissect groups like that is the man himself, Bill MFN Belichick. And I'm telling you right now, Belichick, this is his revenge year because I know he's on a short leash. They can say what they want, but I know him and Kraft had that talk. If we're looking like how we did last year, Bill, I'm going to have you act like I didn't fire you and retire. Okay? So he knows he's on the hottest seat he's ever been on. Because at the end of the day, you start to look at the Patriots and say, do they need a new voice in the locker room? And I say not yet, but still, people gonna talk. But I'm gonna just end it right there, and I'm taking the Pats plus 4. Okay, Eagles. I know you're gonna show up. You're gonna show out. You're gonna look good. But the Pats are gonna make you play. They're gonna make you play. But I know one thing though. The Eagles have been really, really successful against the Patriots their last few times that they played against them. And I know that's something that you can take into fruition for this spot right here as well, too. Jeff, your thoughts?
True number 3.5 with a 46.5. This did spike to as high as 5.5, 6. Now money's coming in back on the Pats. 4 at circa 3.5 at South Point and Westgate right now with a 45. You know, this has the making where I think the public will be on the Eagles, the sharper guys will be on the Pats. I would not be shocked if the Pats not only covered this game, but stole this game and won outright 24-20. On the same side, I wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles won by double digits. The problem here is the Pats' offensive line. And if this Eagles defense with their front seven starts to put pressure on Mac, it's going to be a long, long, long day and could get ugly. So I'm going to take the Pats plus the 4.5 here. But I do know deep down if Mac starts chucking and ducking and throws a couple picks, this game could get ugly. But we'll take the Pats in the home opener and build to try to steal one.
All right. We have ourselves the Rams at the Seahawks. And Rams at Seahawks, this is a 5.5 spread. This you know what? This is actually one of the funner NFL rivalries. They don't want to say anything about it, but Seattle versus LA has always been fun in all senses of the word. From the days when it used to be the Sonics and the Lakers, the days as the Angels and the Mariners, you know what I mean? The old Seahawks Raider games that we used to have. Oh, and also the old Seahawks Charger games we used to have as well too. Always a lot of fun. So Seattle is kind of a quiet rival on the Pacific when it comes to LA teams. So pretty much, this is always a fun game, always a game that you say to yourself that it looks like it's going to be a blowout, but it winds up not even being like that. But I think this year, though, with the way that the Rams are approaching this season, the Rams are a team that are not going to be good the first 8 weeks of the year, Jeff. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's one of those situations with them. They'll probably win 2 out of 8, 2 out of 8 of those games to start the year off. But then when they get to the second half, that's when they become a better team because then they'll have all the players in place that really want to play and really get things done, and they'll have it to where everybody's comfortable. But at this point now, they're gonna really struggle. And I think Seattle just has a team that really does present a dark horse Super Bowl contender. And I feel like they're going to be able to show that off a bit when we get to this game on Sunday. So I'm taking the Seahawks with the 5.5 to go ahead and clean up on the Rams a little bit, Jeff. Your thoughts?
This is again another train wreck waiting to happen. Rams just so dysfunctional all preseason, nagging injuries with Stafford, no Cooper Cup. There's just nothing to gravitate to. Yet this is under a 7. It did peak as high as 6.5. Let me see what I got for numbers right now. True number 5 and 47, flat 5s at 46. This game, the Seahawks is supposed to dominate this 27-20, 27-17. This should be, the Legion of Boom. Seahawks are supposed to be able to do whatever the hell they want. This is a late night special, meaning an afternoon after you get crushed at 1. It is what it is. I got Seahawks -5. I bought the hook, but we know what happens at the 4 o'clock games. So don't be shocked if something crazy happens. Hopefully it's not this game. Got the Seahawks winning this game rather comfortably, Pops.
All right. So Jeff got his pick on the Seahawks -5. And, both of us know that you don't want to just toss away the Rams like that, but we know the Rams are not in any type of shape to really be one of those teams this year. It's just no. It's just there's a lot that they got to rebuild this thing, and they got to rebuild it kind of slowly because of what McVay did. McVay gave away so much to bring in guys that were rentals. You know what I mean? OBJ, rental. Ramsey, really at the end of the day, he was a lease. Not a, he was a lease. And Von Miller was a rental. You know what I mean? And you gave up picks. You gave up a lot of assets to get these players who ain't here no more. So Raiders, Broncos, one of the funnest rivalries in all the sports. And the Broncos and Raiders, one of the more heated rivalries too. Because these fan bases, I'm telling you, Jeff, being here in California and as many Broncos fans as we have in the state of California with Raiders fans, that can get really ugly at some of these bars. You know what I mean? It really does turn into a gang situation with the Broncos and the Raiders. I've seen it. That's what only reason why I'm speaking on it. You know what I mean? So that's the only two teams I really feel like it turns into gang shit. You know what I mean? Like seriously, like when they get together. So this game right here is a question mark. I really feel like it's a 50-50 game. It's a toss-up. You can really go wherever you want in this game. And you pick somebody, you're not doing a disservice. We got a 3.5-point spread. We got an over-under of 44 here. Russell Wilson says he's rejuvenated, revitalized. Jimmy G has a home where they're comfortable with everything that he's doing for now. So, you got a battle of redemption. And, Russell and Jimmy G are very familiar with each other with their battles in Seattle and San Francisco. So this is going to be another really good game Sunday where you can go either way and you're going to be okay because one of them's going to win and one of them's going to lose. That's all it is at the end of the day. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go out on a limb, and I really don't want to do it, Jeff. But I just truly feel with the way that they've won the last 4 in a row, I think 5 in a row against Denver. I just can't bet against the Raiders here. I'm going to take them with the plus 3.5 to cover. That's what I'm going to do with the Raiders.
I was all in on the resurgence of the Broncos, on the return of Sean Payton. But in the offseason and camp and whatever, they lost Tim Patrick. They lost a couple other wide receivers. Jerry Jeudy, hamstring issues already. I've lost that luster. This is one of the games, though, that I don't believe in Josh McDaniel. I don't believe in the Raiders. I don't believe Josh Jacobs can sit in Vegas the whole training camp and just jump in and play week 1 because we know that's usually an injury waiting to happen. A disgruntled Devontae Adams. In comes Jimmy G, mile high. This is a must win for the Broncos. I bought the hook to -3. My true number here was 3 with a 44.5. It's 3.5 now with a 44. 24-20 all day Broncos. I like them here to control the game, to win the game. It's one that I'm going to take Sean Payton over Josh McDaniels 7 days a week and twice on Sunday, Pops.
All right. So we'll see how it goes. Josh McDaniels going against his former team again as well, too. So you know they would love to embarrass him in Mile High. You know that. All right, so we got the Dolphins and the Chargers. And this is the other game of the week, in my opinion. This is the AFC game of the week. You know what I mean? But Dolphins, Chargers, it's gonna be lit at SoFi Sunday. You're gonna have all the pretty San Diego people and all the pretty Miami people all in one building together being pretty. So I truly do feel this game is a game that we're going to see again, Jeff. I think that both these teams line it up in the playoffs this year, to be honest with you. I think that this is a playoff type atmosphere game. This is a playoff type situation. And I think it's a great preview to a later game this year as well, too. And then once again, you get the element of Tua versus Herbert. You know, everybody, Tua versus Herbert. Everybody just wants to keep playing that song up. But let me tell you why Miami picked Tua over Herbert. Easy call. Selling tickets. That's all it was. Miami wasn't selling tickets like that. And then when they got Tua, they got this new hope in revitalization. They weren't going to do that with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert was always destined to be on a West Coast team because he's a West Coast guy. That's where he fits. So pretty much this game does present a lot of theater. It presents a lot of, Twitter talk. You know what I mean? That's what type of game this is at the end of the day. But I truly do feel this one is a toughie. And the Chargers aren't going to cover in this game. It's going to be tough for them to cover in this game because it's just always tough for them to cover. And one game that you always get kind of worried about with the Chargers is home openers over the last few years. They haven't really fared well in Los Angeles in their home openers, but this year is going to be different. I got the Chargers winning this game, but I got to go ahead and overspend and take the money line with the -160. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. And let's see what Jeff has on his agenda when it comes to this game.
The true number was 3 with a 48.5. It's now skyrocketed to 51 with a 3. I think it'll probably be the game of the afternoon, though. There's a couple good ones up there. Again, I got this 24-24 late walk-off field goal. Wouldn't be shocked if the Dolphins won. Obviously, wouldn't be shocked if the Chargers win. We bought the hook here, Pops. We took the Dolphins plus the 3.5. And again, if the Dolphins were to lose, we're hoping it's by 3 or less. So let's go with that. Pat did 27-24 final, Pops.
All right, there it is. So that's our final late game. And so let's go ahead and get into the Sunday night football game. Sunday night football. And Sunday night football pits these two teams together as usual, Cowboys and Giants. How many times have we had Cowboys and Giants on a Sunday night football game, Jeff, or a Sunday night afternoon game, or a Sunday morning opener? Just geez Louise, I've been on this planet for almost 40 years, and I've probably seen this game 25 times on opening day. And it's like a custom, but we know why. It's always great theater. It's always great theater with the Giants and the Cowboys. And this game winds up actually being in New York this time around. Usually they start this game and they usually do this game in Dallas, but this year we're doing it in New Jersey. I always say, and let's not be ignorant here. Like, you can't say New York when it comes to the Giants home field because they play in Jersey, where the Meadowlands used to be. So, well, the Meadowlands are still there. They just run, it's just a racetrack now, but, and a casino that you probably need to watch your back at. So pretty much, you got the Cowboys and the Giants. You always have the same situation here. Everybody's going to be backing up on the Cowboys or hating on the Cowboys. It's that one or the other. Giants fans, they're going to be into this one, and they're going to probably feel that they're going to lose at every corner of the game. So that's where they're at with the game as well too. So pretty much we have ourselves a very, very fun game upon us. So what I'm going to do here is, since I was so cocky earlier about the Giants winning the division, I'm going to be cocky again and take them to actually cover this game as well too. I'm going to take them with the +3.5. I know I could just take them to win the game, but I'm going to take them with the +3.5 because I feel like the Cowboys are going to be a superior overbet here, to be honest with you. And I think that the Cowboys are going to do everything possible to make this game closer than what it needs to be. And then also, I'm just going off the fact that the Giants were the cardiac kids last year, and I got a feeling that they got a great finish into them this year. I might switch this around and the Giants actually winning the game, but I'm taking the +3.5 now for the insurance. Jeff, what are you doing with this game?
It's a game where I got to trust the opening number, and it was Dallas -3 with a 46. It's now 3.5, 46.5. Again, here, I bought the hook down to 3. Could the Giants win? 100% without a doubt. Which quarterback thrives? Which one wins the turnover battle? Both defenses will be pretty damn good. I expect Dallas's to be a tad better. See how effective Mr. Pollard is. The addition of Brandon Cooks, already with CD Lamb. It's going to be interesting. No Dalton Schultz for Dak there as well. So going to have to get out early, quiet the crowd down. I think at the end, I think it's going to be a Cowboys type fought victory. What is it? 3.5 with a 46. If Dallas gets to 27, the game's over. So let's just say the old 24-17, 24-20 game. But I like the Cowboys to win and cover here, Pups.
All right. Let's go ahead, and you saw I skipped our last commercials and everything because I think that us doing the us doing the over-unders kind of dipped into that a little bit. So Monday Night Football. Are you ready for some Monday Night Football? It's a Monday night party. You know what? And it's funny, Jeff. I missed that we used to say Dan and Mike, and I miss my crew, man. Dan Dierdorf, Al Michaels, and Frank Gifford. Nobody's better than them. And I think that since they have never been able to replace those three, everybody's always had their little gripes with the people that announce Monday Night Football. You know what I mean? But I think that they kind of got it good again with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. And I know Troy Aikman really likes the fact that he does not have to do Dallas Cowboy games every Sunday anymore. Because, when he was on Fox, it was Dallas Cowboys, NFL game of the week for the America's game of the week. Why? How are they America's game of the week every week? But you know what I mean? Like seriously, like they're not even playing anybody this week, and now they're America's game of the week. And real quick news: your boy Dion has just stepped into the top 25 as well too. Okay, all right. I said, damn, the voters are just, bro. If they were, I promise you, that team was nowhere near the top 25 last week, and all of a sudden they 70 spots.
Well, if that is the case, and they were watching these games, and I didn't see the news that you just got, that means if they follow suit, Florida State should be the number one team in the country right now. Am I correct or incorrect?
Well, yeah, because when you look at it, they beat the number 5 team in the nation, and they beat them by 21 points.
Did they move Florida State to number one?
No.
Of course.
They probably moved them ahead of Ohio State, though. But Ohio State, it doesn't even matter. Ohio State won by 20 points. What was everybody's gripe? They only gave 3 points, and they played brilliant football. It doesn't matter. You know, win the game. That's what it's all about.
My question is, who did Georgia and Alabama play? No one.
Right. Georgia and Alabama played their usual Riverside School of the Deaf assignments. You know what I mean? You know, the Cape Cod Community College team. You know, Cape Cod School of the Arts. Whoever Alabama wants to play. You know, the California Cal Baptist. I don't know. You know what I mean? But all in all, man, we don't have to talk too much about this game because this is about to be a superior matchup. This is a Monday Night Football game if there ever is one, brother. You got Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, opening day. This is going to be an absolute epic battle. We know that both these teams split last year, and we know that the Jets are using the Buffalo Bills as the measuring stick of what they have to be to go ahead and win this division this year as well. But at the end of the day, though, the Jets just don't impress me like the rest of the world, Jeff. I'm sorry. I think that this team absolutely gave up too much to get Aaron Rodgers here, who absolutely just figured out a way to trick a team into bringing him here so then he can go ahead and continue his career so he can try to feel like he's keeping up with Brady. But at the end of the day, Brady's a winner, and that guy – I'm not going to call him a loser, but I'm not going to call him a winner either, Jeff. I'm just going to call him a good stat stuffer. But all in all, at the end of the day, I love Josh Allen and his Bills to go ahead and whoop up on the Jets once again in New York City. Well, in Jersey, not New York City. That's disrespectful. Disrespectful. But the team from Queens, you about to get beat up.
I go back to the opening number, a pick in the 47. The public is just running hard, and harder. Now 2.5 Buffalo in the 47. Sizzle or the steak. Bill's been trending down. Incomes, Aaron Rodgers. The place is going to be electric. The return of Breece Hall, the addition of Dalvin Cook. You're going to see a lot early and often of Rodgers to Garrett Wilson. The question is, and this is the big question, how Sauce does against Stephon Diggs. And so I'm going to go opposite with you here because I look ahead and I see that the Jets travel to Dallas next week. So if you think the possibility of the Jets starting 0-2 is real, especially with a loss here. So I'm going to go against the public here. I'm going to take the Jets plus the 120 on the money line. Again, I'm going to just give the lean to the Jets defense and having a way. Maybe Josh comes out of the gate a little slow. Maybe Sauce has a big day. They're going to need a big day from Gabe Davis, Mr. Kincaid, Dawson Knox, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to take Rodgers, Wilson, and the Jets D, and we're going to sprinkle a little sauce with Sauce Gardner and the outright win on Monday night.
All right. I like it, Jeff. I like it. All right, y'all, that's it. That's all the plays that we had. And you know what? Other than us talking about our over and unders, we actually were up under an hour today after that part. So I know that's pretty good. But pretty much, I know Jeff has a lot to do today. I have primetime angles coming up in the next 10, 20 minutes. We got Ray Flores coming in on the show today, the voice of PBC, to talk some Chicago sports and things like that. But Jeff, final thoughts before we wrap this thing up.
I'll keep it. Actually, I'm going to go. Let me scroll up for one second here just to see, because this will tell me all I need to know. Survey said, come on. Circa has already dropped Kansas City to 5. Sharps came in and pounded the Kels news. Everyone else is 6, trending down. So keep an eye on Travis Kelce for Thursday. All your fantasy guys are drafting today and tomorrow, leading up to the game. Be careful there. I have said all along, if you didn't invite me to your wedding, don't expect me there at the funeral. I have, been a big fan of Travis Kelce. Wasn't a bigger fan as Gronkowski. My point is, Kansas City goes as far as Travis Kelce stays up afloat. So if he is gonna, the Andy Reid's got a big decision here. I'm reading hyperextended knee. What's that mean? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but the point is, you don't push him knowing you got 10 days off. They play on Thursday. They don't play till next Sunday. So keep an eye on that. If he is out, that number's going to crash and burn. We'll see potentially Patrick Mahomes without Travis Kelce. Never mind, he's got a bunch of no-name wide receivers as it is. So remember, it's week 1. We want you here for October. We want you here for Thanksgiving, and we want you here till the end of December. So take all our information, process it, and just don't be that guy, the kid in the candy store on opening week.
All right. And Jeff knows I want to say 55 million things right now for what he just said, but I got to wrap this thing up because what I really want to say is, Patrick can't figure it out himself. He's the greatest quarterback to ever walk the earth. He don't need Kelce. He just needs himself, right? Okay. All right. We'll see. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun Thursday, and I cannot wait. And I know me and Jeff, I have a whole lot to say about it next week as well, too. But all in all, thank you guys so much. This is episode 1 of the NFL Bet Exchange, and this is a wrap. Show is done. Y'all get on and get yourself situated for today. Stop looking at me. Stop looking at Jeff. Get yourself situated for today. Get yourself together. You already know what time it is. All right, we're out of here.
Toodles.
Thank you for tuning in to the NFL Bet Exchange, where the sharpest bets are laid. This show was produced by the Prime.